Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the CyberClinic Podcast. This is episode 14. I am Claude Bernard, a doctoral candidate and cybersecurity advocate. And today we're diving into something that touches us all, not in code or data, but in heart, mind, and soul. Before we begin today's episode, a quick but important note. The information shared in this episode of the CyberClinic Podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any medical or mental health condition. I am not a licensed physician, psychologist, or therapist, and the views expressed here should not be considered a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you or someone you know is experiencing symptoms of depression, anxiety, addiction, or any other mental health concern, please seek help from a licensed healthcare provider or mental health professional. In the US, you can contact the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by calling or texting 988. Help is available 24/7. Today, we are addressing the quiet battles, the unspoken struggles that millions face every day: mental health. So, what is mental health? Mental health is more than the absence of mental illness. It's a vital part of our overall well being. Let's break it down into three key aspects. Number one, emotional well being. You can ride the waves of life, manage stress, and hold on to hope even in hard times. Number two, psychological functioning. This includes your thought patterns, moods, how you process experiences, and your resilience. Number three, social relationships, how you connect with others, set boundaries, and build meaningful bonds. And why does that matter? Because mental health is just as important as physical health. It affects every stage of life, from childhood to adulthood. Strong mental health supports productivity, healthy relationships, and even physical well being. And when it suffers, it can lead to serious challenges like depression, anxiety, substance abuse, and even chronic conditions like heart disease. In this episode, we're going to unpack four powerful forces that often overlap with mental health: depression, stress, anxiety, and addiction. We'll explore what they are, how they show up in real life, and most importantly, what we can do about them. So, whether you're tuning in for yourself, a loved one, or just to learn more, you're in the right place. Let's begin. So, what is depression? Depression is a serious mental health condition, not just feeling sad. It's marked by persistent sadness, hopelessness, loss of interest in things once enjoyed, and even physical symptoms like fatigue or appetite changes. It affects thinking, behavior, and physical well being. Clinical depression can last for weeks, months, or longer, and it may require professional treatment. For example, if someone loses interest in life, feels empty for weeks, and struggles to get out of bed, they may be facing more than just a bad mood. That could be depression. What is stress? Stress is the body's natural reaction to pressure, demands, or threats, and in small doses. It's not always bad. Work, finances, relationships, or significant life events can trigger it. Short term stress can sharpen focus or help meet deadlines, but chronic stress, ongoing unresolved tension, can lead to serious health problems like high blood pressure, insomnia, anxiety, or depression. For example, feeling tense before a test could be normal, but constant unrelenting pressure that keeps you up at night, that's chronic stress and it's harmful. What is anxiety? Anxiety is persistent, excessive worry or fear, often without a clear cause. It includes racing thoughts, restlessness, difficulty concentrating, and even physical symptoms like rapid heartbeat or shortness of breath. It becomes a disorder when it interferes with daily life or lasts beyond the stressful event. For example, worrying before a presentation is a common occurrence, but if you avoid speaking altogether, can't sleep for days, and feel paralyzed by fear, it may be an anxiety disorder. What is addiction? Addiction is a chronic condition involving compulsive use of substances like alcohol or drugs, or behaviors like gambling, despite harmful consequences. It alters the brain's reward system, making quitting extremely difficult without help. Addiction can stem from attempts to self medicate depression, trauma, or anxiety, but it can also worsen them. It's not a moral failing, it's a medical condition that requires support and treatment. For example, someone may start drinking to unwind, but over time, they can become dependent and find it nearly impossible to function without alcohol. How are these conditions different from mental health itself? Mental health is the broader umbrella. Depression, anxiety, stress, and addiction are specific conditions that can impact your mental health. Think of them as symptoms or disruptions in a person's overall emotional well being. And there are causes that could be classified as biological, psychological, and social. Let's visit each one of them. Biological causes: genetics, family history of depression or addiction, brain chemistry imbalances, dopamine, serotonin, hormonal shifts, postpartum, menopause, or thyroid issues, chronic illness or pain. Psychological causes: childhood trauma, low self esteem or poor coping skills, personality traits like perfectionism. Social causes: loneliness or isolation, unemployment or financial strain, discrimination, racism, or homophobia. Peer pressure, especially with addiction. Warning signs to look out for: withdrawal from loved ones, changes in sleep or appetite, mood swings or irritability, difficulty concentrating, physical complaints such as headaches, stomach aches, increased use of alcohol or drugs, feelings of hopelessness, or thoughts of self harm. Here's a summary of the differences. Mental health: what it is, your overall emotional, psychological, and social wellness. How it relates to mental health is the foundation of your well being. Depression: a mood disorder with persistent sadness, emptiness, a specific mental health condition. Stress: a physical and mental response to pressure or threats, can lead to anxiety or depression if chronic. Anxiety: ongoing fear or worry, often irrational, a diagnosable mental health disorder. Addiction: compulsive behavior or substance use despite harm, often co-occurs with other mental illnesses. Again, I will emphasize that mental health is the umbrella term that describes your overall emotional, psychological, and social wellness. Think of it like physical health. It includes your strengths and struggles. But conditions like depression, anxiety, stress, and addiction are mental health disorders or challenges that can disrupt your well being. Not everyone with mental health struggles has a diagnosable condition, but when symptoms persist and interfere with daily life, they become concerns needing attention. When to seek help: if symptoms last more than 2 weeks or disrupt your daily life, it's time to talk to a doctor or mental health professional. If there's talk of self harm or suicide, seek emergency help immediately. 988 in the US. Can depression cause weight loss or gain? Yes, it can cause both weight loss and gain. Weight loss: many people with depression lose interest in eating, skipping meals, or forgetting to eat. Loss of appetite is common. In the case of gaining weight, others may turn to food, especially comfort foods, to cope, leading to overeating and weight gain. Antidepressants like SSRIs can also lead to weight changes as a side effect. For example, someone feeling deeply hopeless may stop cooking or eating, resulting in a loss of 10 pounds or more without trying. Another person may gain weight from constant snacking as a form of emotional relief. Chronic stress often leads to weight gain, but can also cause weight loss. Weight gain: stress increases cortisol, the stress hormone, which can lead to cravings, especially for sugar and carbs, fat storage, and overeating. In the case of weight loss, others may have a serious stomach, nausea, or lack of appetite when overwhelmed. For example, a person dealing with work related stress might binge on junk food at night, gaining weight. Another might lose their appetite entirely during a stressful divorce. Anxiety typically causes weight loss, but not always. Anxiety can suppress appetite, speed up metabolism due to the fight or flight response. Weight gain: if anxiety leads to emotional eating or reliance on food as a coping mechanism, weight gain is possible. Example: someone with constant panic attacks may feel too sick to eat, losing weight rapidly. Another may eat mindlessly to soothe nerves. Addiction varies by substance or behavior. Stimulants like cocaine or meth often cause dramatic weight loss due to appetite suppression. Alcohol or opioids may lead to weight gain due to high calorie intake or slow metabolism. Behavioral addictions like food addiction can lead to binge eating and obesity. Example: A person abusing alcohol may gain weight from drinking and unhealthy eating patterns. Someone using stimulants might stop eating almost entirely. Reliable forms of help therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, dialectical behavior therapy is DBT, and trauma focused therapies can help retrain the brain's thought patterns. Medication, antidepressants, SSRIs, anti anxiety meds, and medications for addiction like Suboxone or naltrexone are often used. Self care, regular exercise, mindfulness and meditation, sleep hygiene, journaling or creative expression, limit alcohol and caffeine. What's the role of stigma and importance of early intervention? Many people suffer in silence due to shame or fear of judgment. Stigma can delay treatment, potentially leading to a worsening of symptoms. Early help yields better outcomes. Mental health is just as valid as physical health and just as treatable. Can people regain full functionality? Yes, with the right combination of support, therapy, medication, and lifestyle modifications. Many individuals can lead whole and healthy lives. Recovery is possible. Relapse is not a failure. It's not part of the journey for many. What is the role of AI and digital tools in mental health? There are four of them that I will suggest here in this case. Apps like Calm, Headspace, and Wobot. They support mindfulness, anxiety management, and cognitive therapy strategies. Teletherapy platforms, BetterHelp, Talkspace. They help people access licensed therapists without in person visits. Predictive AI tools in healthcare, used in hospitals to detect suicide risk from patient records or detect relapses in addiction recovery. AI powered chatbots like Wisa or Replica can provide immediate 24/7 mental health support for those not ready to talk to a human. Biological implications, physical symptoms of mental illness, headaches, fatigue, digestive issues, heart palpitations, chronic pain, sleep disturbances. These are not in your head. They are real medical symptoms connected to emotional suffering. Can someone have all four? Yes, and it's not uncommon. For example, someone with depression might self medicate with alcohol addiction, experience anxiety, and feel chronic stress. They're often connected and require integrated care. What are the diseases associated with mental health issues? Heart disease, high blood pressure, obesity, diabetes, stroke, weakened immune system. Mental health isn't separate from physical health. The two are tightly linked. Do people with any of these conditions sometimes pretend that everything is okay? If so, how can one tell? Yes, absolutely. People living with depression, anxiety, stress, or addiction often pretend that everything is okay. This is sometimes referred to as smiling depression or high functioning anxiety. It's a coping mechanism fueled by fear of stigma, shame, or the desire to avoid burdening others. Why do people hide their struggles? Stigma, they fear being judged as weak, unreliable, or unstable. Social pressure, especially in professional family roles, there's pressure to hold it all together. Lack of support, they may not have someone they trust or may have been dismissed in the past. Internalized shame, they feel guilty for feeling unwell and may believe they should be fine. Fear of consequences, especially with addiction, people may fear job loss, legal issues, or losing loved ones. What are some of the warning signs someone may be struggling behind a mask? There are behavioral clues and emotional or verbal clues, such as sudden withdrawal from social activities, repeatedly saying I'm fine when asked about well being, changes in sleeping or eating habits, such as avoiding serious conversations, perfectionism or overworking, joking about being overwhelmed, anxious, or hopeless, decline in performance at work or school, deflecting when asked personal questions, use of substance to cope, expressing feelings of worthlessness indirectly, always putting others first, never expressing their own needs, saying things like it's no big deal, but serious situations. What can you do? How can families and friends help? Here are 10 practical ways to help. Number one, ask twice. Are you really okay? With warmth and eye contact, you can open doors. Number two, create space for listening. Offer time, not just advice. Listen more than you speak. Number three, offer non judgmental support. Say things like, it's okay not to be okay. Number 4, normalize help seeking. Share your own experiences if appropriate, or gently encourage seeking professional help. Number 5, check in consistently. One conversation might not be enough. Keep showing up. Number 6, learn the warning signs. 7, encourage professional help. 8, offer consistent emotional support. Number 9, help with practical needs, rides, meals, childcare. Number 10, never dismiss or minimize their feelings. Who is most vulnerable? Adolescents and young adults, veterans, people living in poverty or trauma, older adults with chronic illness. What are the statistics? Did you know, according to the World Health Organization, 1 in every 8 people worldwide lives with a mental disorder. Here in the US, nearly 1 in 5 adults experience a mental health condition each year. Over 60% of people with mental illness don't receive treatment. Anxiety disorders affect 40 million US adults. Depression is the leading cause of disability worldwide. Mental health at work and school, building a culture of care. Workplace responsibility and actions. Number 1, normalize mental health discussions. Host regular mental health awareness campaigns and training. Encourage leadership to model vulnerability and share stories. Number 2, provide access to support services. Offer employee assistance programs with free therapy sessions, addiction support, or financial counseling. Provide insurance plans that cover mental health services equally with physical health. Number 3, train managers. Educate supervisors to recognize signs of burnout, depression, or substance misuse without stigma. Train them in compassionate conversation, not diagnosis. Number 4, foster flexible work options. Allow hybrid or flexible scheduling to reduce stress. Encourage use of mental health days and reduce always on culture. 5, create a safe, inclusive environment. Address toxic workplace behavior, microaggressions, or bullying that may cause emotional harm. Uphold confidentiality and zero retaliation policies when an employee seeks help. Let me share with you a story about a company that implemented mental wellness breaks, saw productivity rise and turnover drop. This is a real world story. Mental health breaks at Cisco Systems. The company, Cisco Systems, a global tech giant with over 70,000 employees. This is the challenge they confronted. During the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, Cisco observed an increase in signs of employee burnout, stress, and mental fatigue, particularly among remote workers. The solution: Cisco's leadership took a bold approach. They declared a day for me, which is a company wide mental health day where no meetings were scheduled and employees were encouraged to disconnect completely. They built mental wellness breaks into their weekly rhythms. Managers were trained to start meetings with brief emotional check in, creating a safe space for honest conversations. Cisco expanded the access to free mental health coaching, therapy sessions, and apps like Headspace and Thrived Global. What were the results? According to Cisco's internal HR reports, employee engagement rose by 6%. Turnover dropped by nearly 7% in departments that adopted mental wellness practices consistently. Employees reported feeling more valued, respected, and supported in their roles. Forbes and Great Place to Work ranked Cisco number 1 on the world's best workplaces list in 2020 and 2021, mainly for their commitment to well-being. This is a friendly quote from Fran Katsuda, Cisco's chief people officer. We're not just investing in productivity, we're investing in people. Mental health is a side initiative, it's part of our business strategy. And here's the kicker: this wasn't a Silicon Valley luxury, it was human necessity. At Cisco, they didn't wait for burnout to become a crisis. They listened, they adapted, and the results were tangible: healthier minds and a healthier bottom line. Suggestions for educational institution and mental wellness, which I'm very good at doing. Number 1, integrate mental health education. Incorporate mental health literacy into the curriculum from elementary to college. Offer training in coping skills, mindfulness, and emotional regulation. Early intervention systems. Train teachers, professors, and staff to recognize sudden changes in attendance, decline in grades, mood shifts, Encourage timely referral to school counselors or support teams. Number 3, increase access to support. Staff schools with licensed counselors, psychologists, and social workers. Partner with local health systems or teletherapy platform. Number 4, destigmatize and empower. Host student-led campaigns or peer support groups. Make counseling visible and easy to access. No red tape. Number 5, accommodate, don't penalize. Adjust academic deadlines for students managing anxiety, depression, or addiction recovery. Offer learning support for neurodivergent students or those facing mental health challenges. Let's be clear. Asking for help is a strength, not a weakness. Whether you're an employee or a student, the system should meet you with support, not shame. Here's a takeaway that I'd like for you to take. Mental health should be treated as seriously as physical health in both the boardroom and the classroom. When we care for the minds of our people, everything else rises with it. Important notes not to miss. Mental health struggles don't define a person. There's no one size fits all path to recovery. Silence and stigma kill. Conversation and compassion heal. Technology is here to help, but human connection remains powerful. To conclude, so as we wrap up today's conversation, let's take a moment to reflect. Depression, stress, anxiety, and addiction. They're not just clinical terms or passing modes. They are real, complex, and deeply personal experiences that affect millions across the US and beyond. And while they differ in origin, symptoms, and intensity, they often share one common thread. They thrive in silence, but silence isn't where healing happens. We've explored what mental health truly means, not just surviving, but thriving emotionally, psychologically, and socially. We've broken down the biological, psychological, and social roots of these conditions, their warning signs and physical effects, the impact on daily life, relationships, and even physical health, and the growing role of AI, digital tools, and telehealth in supporting mental wellness. We discussed the importance of early intervention, the need to shatter stigma, and the availability of resources, ranging from therapy and community programs to mobile apps and compassionate conversations. If there's one message I hope you take with you, it's this: you are not alone. Whether you're going through it or trying to support someone who is, help exists and hope is real. If you or someone you know is struggling, please reach out to a professional or mental health line. In the US, you can call or text 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, 24/7. This podcast is not a substitute for medical or mental health advice. Always consult with a qualified professional regarding your specific condition. And don't forget, next week on episode 15, we're shifting the conversation to something equally important: loneliness, isolation, and mental health in the digital age. We'll explore how tech both connects and divides us, and what we can do to build real, meaningful human connections, even in an AI driven world. My advice is this: provide the help you wish you had received when you needed it, and treat the person you're helping with the same dignity you would want to receive. Until then, take care of yourself and one another. This is Claude Bernard, your host of the CyberClinic Podcast. Talk soon. Thank you.